am on the eastern side, or eastern shores of Loch Lomond. I'm up in a place called Sallochy Bay, pitched up for 3 days at a off-grid campsite. Absolute basic, just a cold tap and some compost toilets, but it's actually very, very nice indeed. It's not good kayaking weather, as you can see. It's overcast, quite windy. It was blowing a hoolie last night, so I've basically given up on the kayaking until I move on tomorrow. So this morning we're off on a walk together. If you want to watch the video, I'm taking the Sollochy Trail. It's not a particularly long hike, it's about 2 hours, but apparently it's got some beautiful scenery and forest to travel through on the way. So let's go. Well, the first part of the walk you see me on was actually part of the West Highland Way along the shoreline of Loch Lomond, and that's actually where I'm pitched up. I've got literally the West Highland Way about 20 to 30 feet up off my pitch. My pitch is quite enclosed, but you do get walkers coming, to and fro along the path. You can hear them, but it's not too bad. It's not actually too busy yet. I don't suppose it's full-on weather yet, and having just come out of lockdown, so I'm sure it's going to get busier as the weather warms up, and hopefully things stay eased and ease up even more. Right, we better crack on. Onwards and upwards. We've just left Sallochy Bay campsite. As I said, I'm actually staying there, and the actual start of the trail is directly across the road, so I'll show you that as we go. There we go. So now we're joining the red trail. It's a mixture of red and blue. I believe the blue is a continuation of the red, and you can go up to a quite nice viewing point, which I'm hoping to do. As I said earlier, it's mainly a forest walk. Already it looks very pretty, very peaceful. Well, we're coming up to a junction here, a fork left or a uphill to the right, and they're both marked red. So what we'll do, we'll take the one on the left. It may be that it sort of goes round in a loop and back down. I couldn't actually find any map for this, so we're just following the markers, and I've got a GPS tracker on me, so some absolutely stunning views to the left here if I show you. It's a nice wee burn running downhill there. Oh, let's carry on. Well, it's amazingly peaceful. All I can hear is the trickle of the burn to my left, and the faint sounds of bird call. Going across a wee bridge. Right, stop and take a look up and down here. Well, that was a nice little stop off. I do seem to be drawn to water, especially running water. The pathway either side's lined with bluebells, although obviously they're dying out now. We're coming into, well, we are mid-June, so yeah, you can't expect a lot. There we go. I don't want to get too near the edge in case I slip. And there's a nice little set of cascading waterfalls. Well, up we go. Absolutely beautiful. It's all up and up at the moment, as you can see. I've not long started getting out on walks. It was more of a lockdown thing from 220. And to be honest, I'm not much of a walker. But to be honest, if you pick your place right, then you don't really concentrate on the walking, you're concentrating on the place. It makes it much easier. And a steep bit. Made it. Please excuse my heavy breathing if it's coming out on the mic. I'm not very match fit at the moment because of the last lockdown. As you can see, it is uphill all the way. I think I'm going to have to strip one of my layers off in a moment, because it's certainly not cold up here. Excuse me sniffling, I've got a stinking cold, so I've got a blocked nose. And they're not helped when I'm climbing. A nice little wooden bridge. Yeah, it's very boggy underneath. And up again. Right, I stopped for a moment to strip a layer off and have some water. And it feels an awful lot better now. I was tempted to go off path there. There was some unusual wooden construction just to the left, but then I was reminded of the one of Scotland's most fearsome creatures, and I'm not talking about the adder or any big animal. I'm talking about ticks. And no reason to go into long grass, so thus far in a week or so I've managed to avoid them, unlike the midges who have eaten me alive. Well, I'm still sticking to the red trail by the marker posts at the moment. I think, rethinking what I said earlier, I think if you do the blue and the red, it's about 2.5 hours, not 2 hours, but I'll let you know at the end of the walk. Well, I've got a fair climb ahead of me now. There it goes round and up by that telegraph post, so I'll bring you back when I'm up there. There you go, I'm halfway up, and there's views over Loch Lomond. I'm coming up to a level piece now. Still yellow marker, red marker, sorry. So let's just have a quick look back. Lovely breeze up here. Well, once again I've hit 2 red marker posts. I believe that must be going back down. And well, this one obviously is going up, but whether it's just going up to a higher point. Well, we've got to go up, I suppose. Well, at least up here I've got a nice breeze in my face. As we was coming through the forest, it was quite warm and moist, as they will get because they're in closed spaces. Now, normally when I'm recording, I'd say the breeze is a hindrance, obviously, to the mic, but it's so welcome up here, and it keeps the midges away, because as soon as the wind drops, those little buggers are out in force. There's a view over Loch Lomond from Sallochy Bay on the far right, going right down to the south, and some of the islands. Well, the bad weather's on its way by the feel of it, so what I've had to do, I've gone so far up this gravel road, and I'm now sort of turning back and going down the way I came. It's actually spitting with rain, and this camera is not waterproof, so it'd have to be packed away anyway, but what I'll do, if I can, I'll film the views as I'm going down, and we get what we get. I only did a bit of filming on this gravel road. I thought gravel path, I've been on it for quite some time, just basically going uphill. Obviously the filming I did was the views over Loch Lomond, so it's absolutely stunning. And down there you can see Sallochy Bay. That's basically where I'm pitched up, where I'm camping. So I'm heading back down, probably got an hour, and I'm going to get myself a brew on and get some lunch. It's actually been a fantastic walk. I said earlier I was struggling with my legs, but the more I got into the walk, the more I started to enjoy it and breathe a bit better. So it's just a matter of getting out there and doing it, I suppose. The other reason I stopped filming on this path, well, I had to get my nose down because it was quite steep, was the remote mic battery was getting low, so I wanted to plug that in. So we're all charged up now and on our way back. Oh, the wind's dropped a bit, but it's actually welcome. As I keep saying, it keeps the midges away. It keeps you cool when you're out on the walk. Not great for the microphone, but there you go. Well, breakfast was a bit unexciting this morning. Obviously got up quite early. There've been storms and blowing a hoolie, torrential rain all night. So I managed to start doing breakfast and it absolutely hammered down again. So I basically just grabbed some cornflakes and some milk out of my ice box and had that. So at least I had something, and I had a brew. And literally as I was eating the cornflakes with the main fly open, the wind dropped, the midges came flying in. I must have eaten about 50. They all landed in my cornflakes. So I thought, well, you can bite me, time I bit you. There you go, midges, take that. Well, as I'm walking along this gravel road, I'll give you a bit more info on where I'm staying. I touched on it at the start of the video. I am staying in a place called Sallochy Bay, which is on the east shore of Loch Lomond. The campsite is a forestry campsite. It's called Sollochy Forest Campsite, strangely enough. It's very, very basic. You have two cold taps at sink nearer the main entrance. You have compost toilets. You have one toilet for the 10 lochside pitches, another one for the centre pitch, and a staff toilet. They do say carry your waste out, but there is actually bins on site, but they're not very big. So, you know, I'm basically carrying most of mine out. The main pitch when I turned up on Saturday, the main area, sorry, was getting quite busy with larger tents, sort of 4 to maybe sort of 6 berth tents, which, you know, fair enough, it's a grassed area. The lochside pitches, there's 10 of, they vary in size. The one I had, number 2, is just basically big enough to put my 2-man backpacking tent on. So if you ever go to book in here and you've got anything larger than a backpacking tent, I would suggest you look at the dimensions for each pitch. In saying that, the lochside pitches are very, very remote. You know, I've just collected my water, took it down there, and it's the nearest thing you're going to get to wild camping. I mean, I call it off-grid camping. There's no shops nearby. I had to carry everything in. Car stays in the main car park, and it's been an absolute joy. I mean, I've carried quite a bit in. I need time today, although I've got till 11 o'clock tomorrow to vacate the plot, and they don't actually rush you off. They're next people coming in are told not till 2, but with the COVID they still got a lot of cleaning duties with toilets and basins and sorting out the wood that people have purchased and the fire pits, clearing up any debris that's on the plots, because people do leave crap about. It's really surprising. In fact, the pitch I'm on, when I got there was dog shit on it. I mean, so it's obviously someone walking along the West Highland Way. Dogs just run off path. It's had a shit. That's fine. So as a human, I'll go and shit in their garden. So, you know, it does wind me up. So I've removed someone else's dog shit. They're saying that the rant over. I carried my kayak in as well, my 16.5 foot kayak. So that was basically by the side of my pitch on the beach area. So although I only got to use it once, all told, I've had an absolutely wonderful time. Fires every night, just staring at the water, slept like a baby, even through the storm last night. Obviously I woke occasionally, because it's the first time I've slept in that tent in anything like that. So I was a little bit concerned, was water coming in? What I did, I had a backpack in the vestibule on one side. I wanted to make sure that was still dry underneath, the water wasn't coming under. So, you know, just little things playing on my mind. If it happened again tonight, no worries, I'd sleep like a baby. So there's a little rundown on where I'm staying. If I get an opportunity later, I'll go and do a separate video and walk around the site. So I'll get that up onto YouTube. Anyway, having said it was going to pee down a rain, which it was threatening, sun's come out. Only in Scotland. Right, well, I'm making very good headway along this gravel path, and as I said in the last clip, sun's out. I was about to strip off down to my speedos and scare the wildlife, but it went back in within 30 seconds, so I just think I've witnessed the Scottish summer. I'm the one. Yes, I know, taking the piss. Well, I'm Scottish by birth, of Scottish parents, so I'm only taking the piss out of myself. Strange accent for a Scotsman. Yes. The walk down is, oh, this is easier. Although I must say, you know, this is, I've really enjoyed this. I'm very disappointed with the kayaking experience on Lomond, but in all fairness, I was talking to one of the rangers at the site, and he's a sea kayak instructor, and he said, as far as he's concerned, you know, you could easily do all that instruction on Lomond at any time. It's not normal. Some of the waves on it, and it changes so quickly. Last night, sitting in front of the fire, 8:15, roaring fire, staring. It had calmed down by then, and I was actually edging, although I'd packed the kayak away, I was edging towards getting it out and going out, because it doesn't get dark till gone 10. I'm glad I didn't, because literally as I sat there, just on the west shore, it just went black, and it just travelled across. So I sort of scrambled around, getting everything in, and everything sort of like wood wrapped up so it didn't get wet, and getting into my tent just before the rain poured down. So I'm really glad I didn't sort of attempt to go out there. But yes, I've still thoroughly enjoyed myself. I've had a lot of relaxation here, because yesterday I was basically sitting waiting for a calm, which did happen the day before when I was setting up. However, it didn't happen yesterday, so I basically relaxed, you know, around my camp, and just chilled out. It was just nice. I tend to always want to be doing something, but that was a nice day. So all in all, my experience for the last 3 days at Loch Lomond and the campsite have been absolutely wonderful. Just not a lot of video footage on this one. So what's next? Well, when I leave tomorrow, I'm just travelling across the Trossachs to Loch Chon, spelt C-H-O-N, where again I'm booking into a off-grid campsite. I've got a lochside pitch again, surrounded by trees, very, very secluded. A larger pitch, I could put my 4-man air tent up on it, but I'm not going to. I want the wild camping experience. I'm carrying my own water in. I've got a 25 litre freshwater drum on my vehicle. Again, the very nice ranger at the site, they're all nice, very friendly, very helpful and knowledgeable. Said to me, you'll have no problem on Chon. It's a sheltered loch, it's small, very pretty, fill your boots. So I'm really confident I'm going to get a lovely kayaking experience on there, and also on Loch Ard down the road from there, which will probably be the next day Third day, I'm not sure. I book out on the fourth day, and then I'm just travelling down a bit to Mogai, which is my hometown, and so I'll scare the life out of my brother because I'll run straight to the bathroom for a bath and shave. Yeah, you're getting a bit mingy now, as much as you try and clean up when you've been away for best part of well, it'll be a week wild camping with just cold water to wash in, and then I had a week in Cumbria where I had showers daily, or twice daily there. But so I pre-warned him, let me come straight in, hello, don't talk to me, straight to the bathroom. I'll come down looking like a human again, and then you can give me a cuddle, you're my brother. Well, as you can see in front of me, you can just about make out the little island off of Sallochy Bay, or just round the corner from Sallochy Bay. So I've come down quite a distance on this old quarry road. This is just a shingled road. I'll probably take a different route back rather than cut through the forest again, as lovely as it was, and it would all be downhill. But the wind's dropped. Obviously I'm lower down as well, and you can now hear the birds singing. I was just thinking, it's quite crazy the things you think of when you're out on a walk on your own. Yes, you're looking at the scenery, you're listening to the birds, and then I heard the sheep bleating in the background, and suddenly realised they all speak the same language, English and Scottish. There's no accent. Same with the birds. Yes, it's my age. I'm going a bit mad. Well, I've come out the forest now, and I'm actually glad I bought my Garmin, because I didn't come in out the same way as I came in. So I've got my Garmin GPS, and I marked my camping area, my pitch actually, as a waypoint. Now literally as I came out the forest, a little bit disorientated, but I would have sworn that I had to turn right and carry on, but no, it's left, down the road a bit, and then right. So there you go. I didn't think it's a trail. I assumed. I suppose I could have followed it back down the route I came in. Simple as, that would have been the easiest. Well, Garmin sent me down the hill a bit on the road, and then picked up a trail on the right hand side. So it's the first time I've used this. I set some routes for Coniston Old Man Trek and Tarn How in the lakes, but I didn't do Coniston. Tarn How, I didn't really need it, and it's not easy, especially if you're filming and then you're holding a handheld GPS device in the other hand and trying to look where you're going. But I got it because I have in the past got myself lost, not by a long chalk, and I always find my way back, but one of the ones was quite scary on a hot day earlier in the year. I was something like 4 miles off my track, so I ended up 4 miles off, 4 miles double back, finding my way back to where I got lost. So basically I did 8 miles before I rejoined the trail. It was really hot, running out of water. You know, it's a schoolboy errors. So I invested in a GPS tracker or unit, just in case I get in trouble. Now look at that. I have a feeling we're on the West Highland Way. Let's take a walk down to the water's edge. Let's see if I hadn't packed the kayak away. I could have got back. This is perfect. As I said, it changes so quickly. Just give you a pan around. Beautiful. Now back on course now. Just looks like I follow this. I'm sure this is the West Highland Way, or part of the West Highland Way, which goes right past my pitch. Handy. It's so quiet today. I have literally, on that walk till I came out of the forest, I met no one. And just as I cut onto this trail, there was a couple of backpackers coming towards me. So, but then again, if this is the West Highland Way, that's going to happen. You're going to see quite a few people in your travels on here. Quite a narrow bit, an uphill. You can hear the loch to the left of me, the waves crashing in. Well, apparently I've got 400 metres to go. Out of condition and out of breath. At last, some flat. And now the GPS says 810 metres, so don't know quite where that went. But it's showing me that I'm on the right track, so I shall just carry on. Got to trust it. Well, I seem to be heading back down towards the loch. Obviously, I suppose just being the West Highland Way, it just came out, it came uphill, so quite a rocky bit. Had to put the GPS unit away and watch my camera because I'm stumbling up it. And now it seems to be, hopefully, all downhill, and the loch, I can see the loch through the trees, I can hear it. Well, let's just take a little wander off track and just pop down to the beach. Unfortunately, Loch Lomond, this side of Loch Lomond, there's a permit or camping management scheme in force from March to, I believe, September. So you can't just pitch up anywhere, you have to be permitted. In saying that, there's nothing wrong with you coming down and just sitting here and having a lovely rest. There's Luss across the water there, which I can literally see from my pitch, because I have a beach area in front of me and the loch. Just have a couple of minutes rest and a water break. I've had to swap out the water from the backpack because it's enclosed in a zip pouch. I have to keep taking the backpack off to get to the water. So now the bottle's nearly empty. I just stick it in my left pocket. So I said it's annoying that I can't just reach and pull a bottle straight out the rucksack. Stunning views, stunning place, stunning country. Well, that's it, off the beach, back on the trail now. It's been a lovely walk, and once again I've done it. Not the walk I anticipated. I looked at the little map at the campsite. It's simple, just go up there, do a loop and come back down. No, not me. I have to go wandering. But praise the Lord, I've got a GPS tracker, which has come in very useful, as I've been walking the other way into the main town just to find out where I am, and I felt a bit foolish, but there you go. Well, I've just checked the GPS, and apparently it's 370 metres to my pitch, because it passes right by my pitch, the West Highland Way. What an unusual walk. Who would have thought we'd have been doing part of the West Highland Way? It's amazingly quiet on this trail. I mean, I've only met that one couple, middle-aged couple, that I mentioned about 20 minutes ago on the trail, and they only had day sacks on their back. But then again, I suppose two things: one, they're probably doing either part of the West Highland Way from Fort William towards Moorgai, or they're doing the whole trail the other way around, Fort William to Moorgai, rather than the start point, which is officially Moorgai. It's amazingly quiet on the trail, but I think I sussed it out really, because a lot of people who start in Moorgai and they stop off at Drummond, or just past Drummond for the first night, so they'll be out early in the morning and on their way. And the trail here will get busier in the evening as they're coming in the other direction. So sort of during midday, you don't necessarily see a lot of people about. Well, here we are. We're at Sallochy Bay Woodland Camping, as it's called. That's what it says, Sallochy Woodland Camping, and it's run by the Forest Commission Scotland. And I'm actually staying here. This is pitch number 10 of the loch side. So you've got 1 to 10 coming down, and this is actually some massive pitch. So I should imagine that's more like what I call a family pitch, or maybe 2 families. But quite away from the actual site. I mean, don't agree with that. Someone's left the wheelbarrow there. They barrow in, barrow out, but they don't. You're supposed to take it back to the office as well. So what I'll do, I'll walk you along to mine, which is plot 2, and then it goes into the actual main basic site just past that. As you can see, pitch 10 is a substantially large site. I mean, I don't know about 2 6-berth tents, but you could get a substantial sized tent on there with room to spare. And it looks like it's a bit of a wander down to the beach, but still nice. Too big for me. Onwards we go. Here's pitch 9. I'm not going to show you them all, but basically it's the same thing. They're just different sizes, and this one's a much smaller one. Let's show you it. So here's a gravelled area, a lot more secluded than mine. And there's pitch 8, and I do know on the site they sort of suggest if your family or friends are coming that these are quite close, so you know you can get nice and close together. Where my pitch, it's a much smaller pitch, and just designed for a backpacking tent. It's a little bit more secluded. Over the little bridge. It's a fair walk to pitch 7. So yes, I said 8 and 9 are relatively close. 7's got a bit more privacy, at least from that side. I don't know about from pitch 6. There's 7. Again, they're all up here considerably larger than mine. Right, I'm turning the camera off here because there's someone pitching up. Right, and here's pitch 5 and 4. they're basically together. And I think there was a group, I think 3 families turned up on Saturday just after I pitched, and they were noisy enough. I think just loads of children, loads of inflatable rafts. You may be able to see here, there's a fire bowl, so they leave a fire bowl out if you order wood. They tuck your wood underneath for your arrival, so you can pay online for wood. I did actually, I brought my own. They do allow that as long as it's proper purchased logs, not pallets and trying to burn your MDF or your wardrobes. But I did walk mine in. I went up yesterday and asked if I could buy some from him, and he said basically it was very low on stock. They only really have enough for the people that order online. So if you think you're going to have fires, bring your own. Here's my pitch 2, straight ahead. That's my white van, and that's the main area. It's just like any normal camping field, it's just a flat area. And here we are, pitch 2. There's my backpacking tent. I'll walk you in. Fire bowl to the left, and there you go. I can climb down to the beach area and away. Well, I must say it's nice to be back at my pitch, and that was a very unusual walk. I mean, I was doing the Sollochy Trail, which should have brought me back to the barrier that I showed you earlier, and obviously taking the path on that gravel road, trying to follow what I thought was a marker. It was not the correct way to go. Anyway, saved by the bell, or in this case, this wonderful gadget. So, yes, they're not cheap, but they certainly get you out of trouble. And you know, the satellite signal for the phones up here is absolutely naff, but this baby, yeah, worked brilliantly. Very pleased with that. So £169, I got that as a special deal at the time. So it's my get out of jail card. Before I leave, mark my waypoint and then go. And if I get lost, or I think I'm lost or wandering the wrong way, get that feeling, just go to waypoint and it'll give me directions back. So what we did in the end, we started off on the pitch, walking on part of the West Highland Way, took a little beach walk near where I am pitched up. Obviously did leave the campsite, followed the Sollochy Trail to a point, and then got a little bit, didn't get lost, just went off track and came back on a section of West Highland Way. So started on the West Highland Way, ended on the West Highland Way. Haven't got a clue how many miles. Anyway, that's it from now. I'm going to make myself a brew in my gifted David Wilson out and about tin camping mug. Have a relax for half hour, get these walking boots off, and then I'm going to start sorting my camp out. Right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Probably a bit of a long one, but if you have, please give it the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Bye for now.